Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261, the Tier 10 Soviet SPG, located on the south spawn of mines. This one is under the command of the Bassman from Hell. Yes, he's at it again. This time in an Arty, often seen in a light tank, but he retains all of his Arty skills, and often he uses them to punish the enemy in a big way. Always fun. Okay, 18 centimeter howitzer, capable of doing 800 alpha, penetrating through 45 millimeters of armor. He's lining himself up for a shot on the first enemy that makes it through into the castle. Oh yes! Hit the lion for 312. That's a new tank that's just come out. A lot of you have been probably assembling them. Yes, they're just as vulnerable to Arty shots. Oh no, not that tree down. That might give the enemy an indication of where he is. But of course he's pulled back to a different position. And his next target is going to be another lion. Is it the same one? I think it is. Grabs out. Another direct hit, this time for 350. Oh, but the enemy Arty knows where he is now. And that shot just missed him. It did stun him, so obviously that one's going to be listed. So that slows down his reload a little. Standard reload is 30.68 seconds. He's got 25.95, I think it is. Yep. Lining up a shot on the EBR. Good shot to fire at that one, where they try to pop back and hit our guys when they're coming up the south slope. Oh! Well, the line's gone this time. That was a direct hit, and looks like it penetrated now. Was that a shell exploding nearby? No, it looks like an enemy tank just exploded. It was Object 277. Oh dear. Okay, he's back to his previous firing position. Lines up a shot on the EPR. We can't see him, but we know he's there. And he's just trying to wait for it. Oh, there's the EPR. Okay, he's going to go at this line, or the EPR, fires the round in. Now, that's unfortunate. And yet again, the enemy Arty tries to get at him. So that's two shots so far, fired in this direction. The enemy Arty in this case happens to be a batch at 155.58 and also an Object 261, which means that he's got three shots in his hand, 10 seconds apart. So yes, that could be unfortunate if he fires another shot just to test where we are. And rounds out. 299 from a near miss, and he's back up to the wall again. It's a clever trick actually. You know, you run up against the rock face as quickly as you can, so that you're into cover, so that the enemy Arty can't hit you. But it doesn't guarantee you won't get hit. There is a good chance that the enemy, if they know exactly what you're doing and where you're firing from, that they will try and get a shot into you whilst you're on the run up towards the wall. So they'll aim in the right spot. He fires another round in. This time round he hits the Progetto 65. No, it wasn't the Progetto 65. It was the Lion. The Progetto 65 took 299. The Lion took 874, so that was probably a penetrating shot on the Lion. And that doesn't bode well for the armor on a Lion. It kind of suggests they are actually fairly easy to defeat. Okay, Progetto 65 just in front of that wreck of the Lion. He fires a round in, and another direct hit, this time for 331. And this time round he does suffer some damage from the batch at 155.58. Only 32 hit points, but he got stunned. But remember that Arty can fire within 10 seconds of the last shot, so he needs to basically move just slightly to one side so that the Batchat can't get him with the second shot. He's going to fire at this, I think it was a Lion. Instead, he lines up the shot on the 277. Rounds out. Direct hit again, 250 this time. You could see that that Object 277 had taken a round through the side. I'm not sure that actually came from Bassman. But he was stunned, and once you're stunned, it can actually interrupt your flow. Okay, he's looking for the target, moves back, This is when he becomes vulnerable, because if the enemy Arty knows where he's firing from, they might try to get him when he pulls back to shoot. Lion. Lots of people playing them at the moment. Fires the round in, but moves to get into cover before we can see what happened with the shot. So I think what I'll do is the next shot he fires, before he moves into cover, I'll take control of the cameras so we can see what happens to the round. Okay, this time round it's the 277. He's going for the rear. Rounds out. Right up his rear. 419 hit points. Non-penetrating shot, but it is still valid, and it's a lot. It's a high roll on a non-pen. I think he is being a bit repetitive here. That might give the enemy a chance to get hold of him, or at least to fire in something that will damage him. So yes, I would know by now that it wasn't coming from one spot, it was coming from another. Oh, there's the enemy Arty. The shell wasn't coming towards us, it was coming towards one of our teammates. In fact, actually, it was coming towards the Lion on our team. You can see from the impact points on the minimap. He's now going to try and get a Death Star. Another splash for 253 this time. There is a problem with moving over to the other side of this area. You see those houses over there? Not a good idea to go over there whilst the enemy's actually on top of the hill, because if you do, there's a fairly good chance they might spot you and be able to hit you. Rounds out the strip. It zips over the top, and unfortunately, no damage. Oh, and that Striv has changed position, I think, or has he? No, he hasn't actually. It was just respotted, that's all. I think our T110E3 is proxy spotting them from the bottom of the hill. Line the shot up. Can he get it on target? It's a difficult shot. That's why he's taking his time. Fires the round in. Gets the direct hit. So that definitely would have damaged the Striv, because the Striv only has 30mm of armor in some places, and that means an Arty round can pen. Remember, this Arty does 45mm of pen. Well, there's a tank with more than 45mm of armor, certainly at the front. Now he's going to wait until he gets another spot. He's only got 7 rounds of ammo left. Didn't seem to get anything that time. So now 6 rounds of ammo left. You can see on the team list that there's lots of Lion players in the game. They've all received them as freebies from Wargaming. They had to work to get them, but yes, they've got them as freebies, so they might as well play them. Sometimes you enter into a battle and there's just nothing but the new tank that's just come out and everyone's playing it. Okay, he's lining up a shot on this Lion. This is one of the ones with the custom job, I think. Rounds out. Direct hit! 406. That's a high roll on a non-pen. He's running low on ammo though. Only 4 rounds left. You only get 20 in the Object 261. I've often said that the 261 deserves 30 rounds. That way you could keep firing all battle long. Uh-oh, EBR 105 on the enemy team, getting close to our cap area. And in fact, actually, we're getting a request for fire on that EBR. In fact, he's just taken a massive amount of damage, so I don't think he's going to be in the game for very much longer. In fact, he's come up into the castle grounds, but unfortunately, Bassman wasn't able to get a shot on target, but he's trying to line up a shot on the strip. Fires the round in. Wait for it. There you go. That time round, another hit. It's another high roll on a non-pen shot. You can see that strip hasn't got much in the way of health now. In fact, actually, he's out the game. I didn't spot that. Or was it? No, he isn't. He is still in the game. see if we can see how much on the way of hit points. Oh, he's only got 226 left. He's very low on health now. You can hear those whoosh. That was an Arty round on the way in. And the EBR's on the way in as well. Now, Bassman's lining up a shot. Oh, but the EBR just met his doom. Nice shot onto the Viz55 for 291. He's hugging the wall again. Four minutes, 40 seconds coming up there now. Only 2 rounds of ammunition left. So he's going to have to make these count. He lines up the shots. Oh! Well, he won't need to fire at that guy because that's the Viz55 and the Cranbarn just made mincemeat of him. So it's who next? Because none of the other enemy tanks are actually in sight at the moment. They still have the castle grounds, but we don't know where they are. And Bassman, well, there's nothing he can do until he can see the enemy. Another Arty round whistles through the air and lands nearby the Lions on the middle island. Oh, that's Arty round coming in this direction. And we've just been stunned. We didn't lose any hit points, but we did get stunned by that shot. The enemy strip just died. He was taken out by the Cranbarn as well. There's a fairly good chance the enemy Arty might try again to get Bassman, because if they can't get the others, they'll have a go at him. The enemy Lions have been spotted. Oh, that one went. The T110E3 got him. We're seeing a Progetto 65 sitting on that corner, but Bassman's being reluctant to fire because he's only got 2 rounds left. He needs to make them work for him. He's got 4.5k of damage already, but I think he wants more. I know he wants more. He's not changing position just yet, but he could change because it looks now as if we've got the castle and they've all pulled back, which means he's now aiming towards the corner where the enemy Arty might be located. He's trying a speculative shot. It didn't work out. So now's the time to move position, and yes, he could go because the enemy don't know where he is. In fact, he's only got 1 round left now, and there's only 4 enemies in it. Okay, our team are getting close. There's the Death Star. There's the enemy Arty. And it's the Object 261. He fires the round in and kill shot. Got him. Hit the front of the vehicle. He'd already taken damage, but it's a nice kill shot because that guy has tried to kill Bassman and he's finally failed. He's back in the garage scratching his head, trying to work out how the hell do I kill this guy. Okay, there's only 2 enemies left, the Lion and a Progetto 65. Bassman's got no ammunition left at all, so all he can do now is help his team by heading towards the enemy cap and spotting with them. He could try to proxy spot that Progetto 65, try and distract him, but the guy is actually about to go down and the Cranbarn got him. Bassman might as well just stay alive and head towards the cap area. He's been spotted. Somebody saw him. One of the enemy must still be in the vicinity nearby. In fact, he's behind us, and I think that may have been... Oh, he's been hit again. So that's twice he's been hit, and he's lost virtually all of his hit points there. The Lion is actually in our cap area, and we're capping. And the Lion's been killed, so that's the end of the game, and it's a victory for the Bassman from Hell. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the 2nd class tanker from the Bassman from Hell in the Object 261. That's kind of surprising, but he was getting damage from virtually every shell he fired, but I guess that he probably wasn't getting enough stun assist from the shots that he was putting in, mainly because his teammates weren't shooting at the tanks that he'd stunned. So, only a second class, but he did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. He got a Starks medal. Yes, the 2 shots that came from the Lion right at the end of the game actually took away more than 2/3 of his hit points, and he'd already killed 2 enemy tanks during the battle. Yes, that was a Lion and an Object 261, and therefore he actually satisfied the criteria for the Starks medal of surviving the battle, killing 2 enemy tanks, and losing 2/3 of your hit points in the process. He also managed to get a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. Yes, he certainly was putting out damage, just not getting any stun assist. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate was 6,386, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you go. The highest damage in the game was 5,445 hit points, and that came from the BassmanFromHell, showing he's not lost any of his skills as an Arty player. Second highest damage went to the Crambarn, who was taking out enemy tanks right, left and centre. He got 4,919. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the Lion on his own team with 4,233. When it came to kills, it was the Crambarn who did the best with 5 kills. 3 kills went to the Lion on his team and the T110E3, and he also picked up a Brothers in Arms. And then 2 kills went to Bassman and also to the Death Star on the enemy team and their Progetto 65. When it came to base XP, it was the Crambarn who did the best with 1,280. 965 went to the E3, 930 went to the Lion, and then 856 went to Bassman. Now let's have a look at details. He fired all 20 rounds in his magazine. He got 11 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetrating shot. Now, I suspect that the penetrating shot was the Object 261 at the end, but it's not actually. Surprisingly, he didn't penetrate that. Did he penetrate the Striv? No, he didn't penetrate the Striv either. So who did he actually penetrate in that battle? Because that is kind of unusual. Oh, look at that. It was one of the Lions. He hit the Lion in the side and got 874 hit points. So what we can equate from this is that Lions don't have very strong side armor, and they are vulnerable to Arty fire if they hit them directly in the side. Okay, let's have a look at the rest. He also got 20 splashes during the game, 5,445 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy. One was penetration, one was a non-penetration, so he was lucky to stay alive, and he had 4 hits by way of splash from the enemy Arty trying to find him and contact him. He blocked 420 hit points of damage. That would have been from the Lion, and that was one of the shots, so he probably got hit in the tracks as he was retreating round the corner. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 2, so there was an 8 difference for the Confederate. And he got 19 stuns in, but look at that, no stun damage whatsoever, and that's why there was no ace tanker. If he got some more stun, I think he probably would have got the ace. On a premium account, he earned 61,976 credits from the battle, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, he actually made a small loss, but it was only 332 credits, so I don't think he'll be worried about that in the slightest. He got 5 bonds because it was tier 10, and 1,284 XP and 8,346 mission achievement, so he actually got 9,630 experience points altogether. So a very good battle. He was putting out a lot of shells at the enemy, did get that high caliber, and he was playing a dance of death with the enemy Arty, who were obviously not actually very experienced, because despite the fact that they were in tier 10s, they couldn't work out exactly what he was doing, and he was just moving backwards and forwards on the same spot, and there was no sideways component to that moving backwards, but it still managed to fool them. I probably myself would have actually moved sideways on some of the shots and then quickly went into the little protective hole that he'd actually created in that wall when he needed to. But yes, he managed to avoid getting splattered by the enemy Arty quite well indeed. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.